let's dive in and let's talk about the Ultimate Outreach Playbook. In fact, welcome to the Ultimate Outreach Playbook. Now, what is the Ultimate Outreach Playbook? I need to show you this very, very quickly. So this is a strategy when it comes to outreach that we came up with this strategy about this time last year, towards the end of summer, October-ish last year, autumn-ish last year. And that's what I would probably call this our outreach 1.0. And this is a really, really successful strategy, one of the most successful ones we put together. And since we developed this, two things have happened in the world, okay? The first thing is that, well, frankly, lots of members have succeeded using the strategy. They've used our Loom strategy in LinkedIn especially, gone out into the market, followed the strategy we're going to show you, well, the first strategy we're going to show you, the 1.0 version of the strategy we're going to show you, and they've got book meetings and they've got clients. That's the first thing that happened. The second thing that's happened since then is LinkedIn has changed. LinkedIn has basically said no more multiple messages being sent. So what it used to be back in the time when we created this was 100 connections a day. Now they said none of that. Actually, it's going to be 100 connections a week. Now these two things together, these two things that have happened since then basically meant that we had to develop an outreach 2.0. which is taking the best bits of this that worked and fitting it into a position which caters for this. And that's what we call Outreach 2.0. And actually what we're calling it is the Ultimate Outreach Playbook. Why are we calling it the Ultimate Outreach Playbook? Because for some reason, in the last few months, I've become obsessed with this idea of playbooks, and now everything is a playbook. That's the only reason I can think. But what's also good about the playbook is that in here, which you're all going to get a copy of in a second, you have everything that we need to know about this process. You have everything you need to know about how to do this model and how to do this methodology. And frankly, even if you never listen to the end of this session and you've lost the recording, you would have everything you need in here. One final question before we get started, and that is, why outreach? Why is outreach so effective? Well, first thing is, it's one of a few different ways of getting clients. But outreach, I like especially, and I've seen lots of people be very successful using outreach for three key reasons. First thing is this: when it's done right, and this process is done right, it gets great results. The second thing is, you can also automate, I would say, 80% of this process. And that's quite a high percentage that I'm quite happy with. The third thing is, I'm a big fan of having three routes to solve one problem, okay? So, to solve a problem. What this means is that outreach can work alongside any of your other methods. If you're running paid ads, if you are doing lots of organic and personal branding, outreach can work really, really well as a supplementary for that as well. And I don't think just because you have one good source of leads that you just have to shut off every other avenue. And outreach, when you make time for this process, when you do it right, when you automate it mostly, this can be a really, really great process. So that's outreach. Let's frame, first of all, the problem with how people do outreach mostly and the problems that they encounter before when they're on the way to trying to make outreach work. So here's the first problem. They reach out to hundreds of people and get zero response. So if the approach is wrong, if the way you're reaching out is wrong and you get no response, it becomes quite disheartening. And what happens is you occasionally get a response, but it's kind of like a nasty no thanks. If you get outreach wrong, it's like this nasty no thanks, hand in the face, slam the door, no thank you, see you later. And what happens then is eventually you might get a lead.
A bit, man. Cheers for getting all this.
Eventually you might get a lead, and when you do, you lose your call. And when you lose your cool in that process, it's very, very hard to go from, yeah, okay, I'm interested, to booking a meeting if you have lost your cool. If you look like this nice looking horse donkey thing on a screen, that's kind of how it feels. Okay, that's when it goes wrong. So the flip side of that is pretty obvious. When you reach out and you get lots of warm responses, whether it's thanks, but not now, maybe it's thanks, but in a little while, maybe it's, yeah, let's book a meeting. You get used to getting lots of warm responses from people who are genuinely happy to hear from you. This is one of the best things about this approach, is you're going to get lots and lots and lots of responses from people who indicate to you they're genuinely happy to hear from you. Okay, and what that means is when people want to book an appointment with you, you keep your call and you absolutely book appointments, and it all kind of works. So that's what we're trying to do. What I want to know before we dive into the 5 key principles, a couple of things need to happen. First thing is, Naomi, can you whack the link with the Google Doc with all the nice links in it into the chat, please, so that we know that everyone has got that. That's the first thing. And actually, let me just show you what you're getting in that link. There's the link. So in that link, in that page, you've got 3 links. The first thing is this playbook. That is this thing here, which I'm sketching on. You're going to have your playbook, which is all good. Second thing is you're going to have your tracker. And we're going to go through this in a second. Some of you may already have this or a version of this. You won't have this exact one because this is very, very new. Here's my ask. I'm going to say this a few times today. Please, please, please go here, press more, and copy the board. Please do not use this board. This board is going to be shared to thousands of people in its time. And if you start using this board, it means that everyone else that shares the board is going to see all your leads. So that's the first time I say it. I'll probably say it a few more times today, but please, please, please make a copy. If you're wondering where to make a copy, you go here, you go to show menu, you click on, I actually clicked on more. So you go here, you go to show menu, you go to more, and then you go to copy board. That's how you copy the board. We'll come to the board in a second. And the final thing is here, you can see the RFT sheet, which is this beauty, and I'm going to go through this in a second. That's all you need for this session. What we're going to do today is we're going to go through this process. I'm going to show you some of the principles behind it, how it works. I'm also going to be asking you guys to actually be actioning while we're working. And I'm going to be asking you guys to fire quickly back your answers and your thoughts into the chat. It would be great if you play along, because you'll walk up there with everything ready to go. And frankly, an approach ready to implement. Before I get going, would love to know if you can see my face in the corner of your screen, if you can hear my voice and you can see my slides. I would love if you could just say ready and good to go in the chat, so I know everyone is hearing me and seeing me and we're all good. Amazing. Thank you so much, guys. So as usual, 5 key principles. First thing is this: consistently connecting. This is a really, really important point to make out here. We need to be consistently connecting. Now, if you think about what you do when you go to bed and what you do when you wake up, I'm sure, I've got no idea what your bedtime, your morning routines are, but I'm almost certain that you all brush your teeth. And it's got to the point now where you've been brushing your teeth when you wake up and when you go to bed so often that you don't even really need to think about it. In fact, if you lay down in bed to go to sleep and you hadn't brushed your teeth, you kind of just subconsciously know, right? I want you to think about and frame connecting with people in your network as regularly and as often as brushing your teeth. It needs to become a very real habit. So the first thing I want you guys to make a note of and to really plug in is the maximum amount of times you can connect with people. I'm going to give you 2 channels here, but LinkedIn at the moment, I would say comfortable for you is 20 connection requests a day. Facebook, if you're liking Facebook, it's a great channel. If you're using Profile, it's about 50 per day. At the very, very least, what you need to be doing is connecting with 20 LinkedIn target customers on LinkedIn every single day and doing 50 on Facebook every single day. If you want to fill your network with target clients, this is all you have to do. It needs to become a habit. Okay, it's really, really important. And I want to explain to you why this habit is so damn important. And I'm going to tell you a story that I've told many of you before. It's called the story of 100 leads, and it goes a little bit like this. Of every 100 leads that come into your business, 50 of them will never buy. 50 of those people will never ever buy from you. But that means that 50 people that come into your world will buy. 50% of all of your leads that come into your world will at some point buy. The story goes like this. 8 of those will buy now. Now means within 90 days. And the other 42 will buy between 90 days and 2 years. 42, and then we call these future buyers. Now, if every 100 leads, 8 of them are ready to buy now, and 42 of them are future buyers in the next 2 years, the job really is to add 100 leads into your network as quickly as possible. And the way you do that is by consistently connecting with 20 people on LinkedIn and friend requesting 50 people on Facebook. That is the story. The story of 100 leads, 50 of them are going to be future and now buyers. Your job is to get to that 100 number as quickly as possible and as most often as possible, okay? This is what we call consistently connecting. There's a question from Maria in the chat. How are we connecting on Facebook? Yeah, Maria, we're using Facebook profile and with friend requesting. And if you want to know, LinkedIn, the way you find is through search. On Facebook, the way we find is searching target clients and filtering by group and then requesting to join, okay? Really, really important. And actually, we did something, did this quite a lot last week. I'm sure there's some lives and stuff in the groups where you can see that. I'll dig that out and show you that, because this is basically the Facebook playbook, which is really, really effective, okay? So consistently connecting, super, super, super important. Make it as regular as brushing your teeth. The second thing is you need to make it personal. Now, at our agency, World Product, one of the biggest services that we offer is Amazon Seller Management, and also Amazon we call it AMS, it's called Amazon Marketing Services. Basically, it's Amazon advertising. And why am I talking about Amazon advertising? Well, because if I was, when I was talking to clients like even 18 months or 2 years ago about Amazon advertising, it was kind of framed like it's a nice to have. You know, you don't need to advertise on Amazon. Honestly, you can list a good listing. It'll probably be found. There's enough traffic on there. It's all good. Today, you absolutely need to advertise it if you're listing on Amazon. If you're not throwing money at Amazon ads, you're literally leaving loads of money on the table and you're losing sales to your competitors. The reason I'm talking about Amazon advertising now is because when it comes to outreach, personalized outreach is now a must. It's exactly the same as AMS. It didn't used to be a must. It used to be nice and nice to have. But then when LinkedIn did this and really shut this down, it meant that highly personalized was absolutely an option, absolutely essential. And when I say highly personalized, what I don't mean is, I don't mean this. I don't mean first name, generic message, book a call. That's not what I mean by personalization. I mean highly personalized, highly. And what this means is when someone looks at it, when the person you have reached out to receives the thing you've sent them, they're going to know that for the limited period of time that you were working on that piece of work or that message or whatever that thing is, they're going to know that you were doing it just for them. You were creating that video, that screen share, that voice notes, that multi-channel approach. You were creating it specifically for them. If it's not personal, if it's not highly personalized, if it's not personal to the person you are talking to, forget about it. It's just not going to cut through. There is so much noise now when it comes to outreach, specifically cold outreach in the world. If it's not highly personalized, you can forget about it. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is make it personalized, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We've got a great method of making it personalized, which is using Loom or using video recording and screen recording, and we're going to show you exactly how to do that today. We're even going to give you your own script so you can walk away with a script ready to go. Okay. Third thing, manage the process. Now, one of the most the hardest things when it comes to highly personalized outreach, one of the hardest things to do is to keep a track of the process, especially when we add lots and lots of steps to the process. Keeping track of the process can be really hard. So what I want to do first is I want to show you the process that we're talking about. And it's actually a 10-day process. And it goes like this. And this is basically based on LinkedIn, but you can absolutely replicate this for Facebook as well. You can absolutely replicate this for Facebook profile. It was designed for LinkedIn, but it can absolutely be done for Facebook as well. Not a problem. Day one, we're gonna connect. Couldn't be simpler. We're gonna connect. And really what this means is day one is the day that they connect back with you. Okay, so I don't know what day you actually sent the request out, but day one is the day they connect with you. They decide, okay, I want this person in my network, I'm going to connect with them. The day after they do that, you're going to go in and like one of their posts. Pretty simple, right? You're just going to go in there, drop a like. Could be, I mean, it's LinkedIn, it can be any of the reactions, same on Facebook, it can be any of the reactions, but you've got to react, okay? It's got to be a reaction on a post. Question I get most often at this point is, what if we find someone who's not posted? Well, there's two things about that. If it's Facebook, they will have done. Everyone posts on Facebook. And if it's LinkedIn, in the search on Sales Nav, if you have Sales Nav, I want you to filter by has posted on LinkedIn in past 30 days. Okay, that's what I want you to filter by. Two reasons why. One is because if they're posting on LinkedIn, they're probably on LinkedIn, which means they're going to see your connection request. Second reason is if they post on LinkedIn, you're going to have something to like. Okay. Day three, we're going to comment. Doesn't have to be a really intelligent comment, although if you can think of an intelligent comment at the time, do it. Okay. Why are we doing this and this? Because I want your name to be turning up in their notifications. I want them to see that you're checking them out. Day four, like the business page, this is probably a page you need to skip for Facebook because you're not going to really see their business page unless they connect their business page to on Facebook. If they haven't, then skip it. Otherwise, you're good to go. And then day five, we're going to send a Loom video. We're going to go through that in a second. Now, most in our sales process, in our outreach process 1.0, we kind of stopped here. But what we realize now is that we need to work a little bit harder to really get in front of people, to really prove that we know what we're talking about, and to really establish our authority. So what we've done here is we've added in 3 emails we're going to send them. And I'll show you how we're going to get their email address in a second. Email 1 is going to go here on day 6. Day 7, you're going to send a voice note to them on LinkedIn or on Facebook. By the way, if at any point they respond, say they respond here, if they respond there, then you cut the rest of the process, right? Don't carry on with the process if they respond, okay? Assuming they don't respond, day 8, we're going to send email 2. I'm going to show you the email copy in a second. Day 9, we're going to send them a GIF. And day 10, we're going to send them an email. And then that's it. We sign off at that point. If we've given them all of this and nothing back, we sign off. Okay? Quick pause there before I go and show you everything else. Quick pause. What are your reflections on the process? What are your initial thoughts and reflections on reaching out to someone in this way on Facebook or on LinkedIn? We'd love to hear your reflections now on the chat. What are your initial reflections on what we've just been through and this 10-day process when it comes to executing this on Facebook or on LinkedIn? Would love to know. Maria likes the 10 steps. Chong says, after sending the loop, got lots of no response. Okay, so there's two things we're going to do here. The first thing is we're going to show you the impact of this. But the second thing is I'm going to show you benchmarks of what sort of what percentage of responses we should be looking for. Okay, we can give you benchmarks so you can see what is a good benchmark and what's not. Okay. Okay, guys, so what we need to do is we need to help you to manage the process, and this is how we do that. So I want you to go to the Trello board. Now, hopefully most of you have done that. You'll find your link to the Trello board right here, the tracker. On the Trello board, you'll see day 1, connected. Day 2, like times 1. Day 3, comment. Day 4, follow business page, Facebook and LinkedIn. Then day 5, this is when they go ready for video. I'll come back to that in a second. Day 5, welcome video sent. Day 6, email 1 sent. Day 7, voice note sent. Don't know why I said IG there. Day 8, email 2 sent. Day 9, GIF sent. Day 10, email 3 sent. And then you've got lead, triage call, strategy session, converted, not responded, and did not respond. Okay, responded, not interested, did not respond. So at some point, everyone that comes in here has a place to go out the end here. And what that's going to do is it's going to help you to know your percentages. How many people booked a triage call? How many went to strategy session? How many converted? How many didn't, said they're not interested? And how many did not respond? Okay, it's all here. Now, there's a column here which says follow business page, which says ready for video. Now, the reason this is here is because it's possible to get a VA to automate this whole process for you and do all of this stuff for you. There's actually a video in the members area which shows you, it's actually a brief of me telling a VA exactly what they need to say and what they need to do in that brief. So what they would do is they do all this stuff, and when they're ready for videos here, all you need to do is come look at this. You've got a list of names, you know that the videos you've got to send, you just pop them over there when you send them. Okay. So quick thing before we move on, this is what I want you to do. Go here, show menu. Go to these 3 things, go more, and copy the board. Please, please, please do not use this board. Please make a copy for yourself, and then you go ahead and you use it. Question from Ozzy. Sometimes they say we're not looking for this right now, we're checking 2 months. Is this worth a separate column for them later on? That's a great point. If you came, you might want to do here, you might want to send a, put in here, I would say, probably, in lead, and then maybe add the column saying follow-up column. And then what you might do it'll be like name, last name, and then you might add follow-up December. Yeah? So you might know where your follow-up is. I think it's a really, really good idea, Ozzy. Great stuff, my friend. So let me just delete this because I'm breaking my only rule, which is not use this list. Please make a copy of this list. So guys, follow the process. That is the process. That's how you follow it. Questions about how to put things in here. This is where a VA is coming in handy. If you're using LinkedIn natively, you're going to have to do this by hand, adding the people in by hand. If you're using automation software like Expandy or something like that, then you can automate this. So as soon as someone connects with you, it pops in here. 2 options, depends on whether you're using automation or not. At the level of people we're connecting to, I don't think you really need to automate that process, but it's completely up to you. So guys, let me just pause for a second. Looked at what we've looked at so far is consistently connecting, managing the process and making it personal. We've also looked at what goes wrong when we do this wrong. What's been most useful, what's been most valuable so far before we dive in and we start working on this stuff and we start actually creating the messages that you're going to create yourself. We'd love to know what's sinking in, what's resonating with you so far. Cool. Sean, consistently connecting. What's resonating with you guys so far? What is sinking in? What's making me think this is actually a really good approach for my business, for my leads? Would love to know, guys. Yeah, got to keep managing the process. It's all going to keep coming naturally. Exactly. So guys, that's the first step. Now what we're going to do is we're going to dive in and we're going to start literally creating your approaches. Now, one of the most valuable pieces of sales advice I was ever given is this, really, really important. A confused mind never buys. A confused mind never buys. And it's absolutely true. If there is even an element of confusion in the mind of your prospect or your buyer, they're never ever going to buy from you. They're never even going to book a meeting with you. So for that reason, what we need to do is we need to be absolutely crystal clear of the proposition that we have for that person. That means that you need to be crystal clear about who you're targeting, what problem you're solving for them, and what the outcome they're going to get from working with you is. Crystal clear. The reason there's a picture of Spice Market up here is the same thing that I talk about. It's a story that happened to me when I was in Delhi Spice Market, a huge market. And I went to Delhi Spice Market as an actual buyer. I went there to buy things. Now, as I walked in, me and my wife, we walked through the Spice Market for probably about 10 minutes. And Delhi Spice Market is one of the biggest spice markets in the world. Within minutes, I would say within 30 seconds, we were hugely overwhelmed. We had no idea what was going on, had no idea what all the spices were, had no idea how to cut through the noise. Honestly, guys, I didn't even know how to buy anything. I didn't even know who I spoke to. Like, I didn't even know, do I go and like get it myself? Do I ask them? I was completely confused. And there was no chance in hell I was going to buy anything. What happened was we were absolutely saved by a very, very kind gentleman who had obviously seen thousands of very lost tourists just like us millions of times before. And he invited us into the back of his store. He sat me down. He said, "What are you looking for?" And I said, "I just want some spices to make my vegetable biryani that little bit better. You know, I think I've got all the spices at home. I feel like the spices from Delhi Spice Market are just going to make them a little bit better." He didn't say anything else to me. He just got up, walked to the back of his store, came back with a packet, and it said vegetable biryani spice mix on it. He taught me through everything that was in it, and he said, "This is exactly what you need to make your vegetable biryani better. This is what's in it. This is why it's going to work. This is for you. This is what you need." And I said, "Thank you so much. I'll take 10 of them." Now, what was the difference between me walking through the spice market beforehand and me in the back of the spice market store with the man who actually knew exactly what I wanted and gave me exactly what I wanted? It was that there was no confusion in my mind. The proposition that he had for me was extremely clear. He knew what I wanted, and he was giving me the exact thing that I wanted. This is exactly what we need for your proposition to be like when we give this proposition to someone. When we do cold outreach, we're popping up into their world, and we're battling with the thousands of other things that they have going on in their world at that time, at that day, and we need to cut through that noise. And to do that, we need to be extremely clear on the proposition. Now, the first part of this, which is really, really important, is your targeting. Now, I don't have time in this session to go through. We're not going to go through what good targeting is. We're not going to go through what your niche is and how defined it is and who you're looking for. But without this, without a strong target, this whole process that we're going to go through falls on its face. Okay, it falls on its face. So the first thing for you to do to get this clarity that we need to get that crystal clear proposition is for you to go and revisit how clear is your targeting. That's the first thing. So important. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to go through exactly how you approach someone with a crystal clear proposition, which is going to get their attention. And here is the formula. First thing we're going to do, I need to tell you, we're going to use a thing called Loom. Loom is completely free, and it is what we call screen share software. Other options include Vidyard. Vidyard basically equally as good. What we're going to do is we're going to go onto their LinkedIn biz page. We're going to find their business website homepage, and we're going to record a Loom video. Here's the web page. Probably they have a banner here. Probably they've got a logo here. Probably a little headline. And we're going to record a video with your face in the corner like that. That's the setup. Okay. So when I talk to you about what the Loom video is, when I talk to you through your script is, the setup is this. You on their business website with your face in the corner like this. Okay. And what we're going to say when we're on that is we're going to say something which is about 40 seconds. Once we have the video, what we do next is we go to their LinkedIn profile. We go to send a message, and we're going to go. So this is their message like this. Probably has their name here somewhere, and you're going to say first name, exclamation mark. Then this sentence here, you've got an opportunity to say something very personalized. So you could say, like a standard one is, great to be connected. But you could also say something more personalized. So for example, if they've been in business for exactly 1 year, you could say something like, congrats on being in business for exactly a year. If they're celebrating their 10th year anniversary, you could say, congrats on 10 years with this company. If they're relaunching their website, saying, congrats on the new website or congrats on the rebrand. Here is an opportunity for personalization. Okay. And then you're going to say, made this super short video for you. And then you're just going to insert the URL of the video, which is going to end up displaying like a little animated GIF with your face in the corner like that. And it's going to be really, really good. And it's going to make them want to click it. And when they click it, it's going to go to a page where your video plays. Okay. That's the process. You find their business page, you find their business website, you record a Loom video on the website. Great question. Ozzy's asking, what should we name the video title? I'll tell you that in a second. Then you're going to go back to their LinkedIn profile and you're going to send them a message saying, first name, great to be connected, made this super short video for you. And with Loom, what's really good, great shout Ozzy, is you get an opportunity to actually name the video, give the video a title. And this is what I want to call the video. The video is going to be, hey, it's going to be, hey, and then whatever their first name. So let's imagine it's Ozzy. Hey, Ozzy. If we're focused on social media, should we do it on the social media page? You can do, Maria, but the reason we're doing the website is not for a website critique. It's actually just to get their attention. It's purely to pique curiosity. So it's not, you're not in this video, you're not going to say anything about the social channels, what's good and what's bad. You're just going to say what I'm going to show you, you're going to say now. And it doesn't matter about whether you're focused on social, whether you're focused on the website. I would do website. So guys, that's the process. So here, what do we say? Well, really, really quick. Now, this should take a maximum of 60 seconds. I would actually say it's probably more likely going to take about 45 seconds. Just to be clear, when I've done this in the past, I got to a point where I could do about 20 of these to 20 different people in about 45 minutes. The key to doing this was two things. One, keep the message to 45 seconds. Two, shoot it once and post it. Do not get into the habit of reshooting these videos. No one cares about the fact that your hair was a little bit out of place, or that maybe you stuttered over that one word, or that you said hi instead of hello, right? It doesn't matter. Get out of the habit of reshooting. We don't want reshooting. We want content out there. If it's good enough, post it. Okay. This is what you're going to say. Hey, first name. And by the way, when I stop, I'm going to stop for a bit, and I'm going to give you The 3 areas, by the way, I'll give you a hint. The 3 areas are here, and I'm going to want you guys to fill that in yourself, okay? Here's it goes. Hey, first name, hope you're well. Just wanted to reach out and make this video to say hello, to introduce myself and tell you it's really, really cool to be connected. Okay, nice, easy, simple. I was checking out your profile and I came across the company name. The business looks great. It looks like you've been going for about whatever time frame they've been going for, okay? So we'd love to know how it's been going for you, what progress you've made, what wins you've had. We'd love to know. Okay, let's pause. Let me be clear, guys. That is all you're going to say about their business. You're not going to say you love their logo. You're not going to say you love their website. You're not going to say any of this stuff. All you're going to say is the business looks great. You can see they've been going for a certain time frame, and you'd love to know how it's been going, what progress they've been making, what wins they've had. We'd love to know. That's all you're going to say. Now, question: why are we asking them? Why are we putting in here the time frame that they've been in? Why do you think we're putting the time frame in there? What do you think is the idea there, guys? What do you think is the idea there, guys? Why are we putting the time frame in just there? What do we want to show them by putting the time frame in here? Let me know. Really interested to connect with them? Yeah, sure. What's the reason we're putting this in here? This is all about proof. We're proving that we've really looked into their profile. We're proving that we've really checked them out. That's all you need to do. That's the only bit of proof that you need to do to show the personalization. If we don't show that we personalize this to them, then it doesn't matter. But this is our proof, okay? Alongside the fact that we're actually recording it over their website. But I promise you, I have had people say to me that when I've recorded something over their website like this, and people still think it's automated. And what I say to them is, if you can tell me how to automate that, I'll pay you a lot of money. Anyway, now this is about you, right? Me and my team, we work with insert target, and we help them to insert general results. And our aim is to get them a very specific result as quickly as possible. Now, you guys have got 2 minutes, and what I want to know, 1, what is your target? 2, what is your general result? And 3, what is your very specific result? Okay, and then I want to hear it in the chat. What is your target? What's your general result? What's your very, very specific result? I'll give you an example. Agency owners, help them grow their business, help them get to 20K a month, specific result. This is the general result. This is the specific result. You've got 2 minutes, probably less now. I want to know, what is your target? What's your general result? And what's your specific result? I want to see it in the chat as soon as you're done. Awesome. Claudia's saying, work with SaaS founders, helps them to increase their lead flow by up to 217%. My friends, that is a specific result. So what I would say there, Claudia, is we work with SaaS founders and we help them to grow their business. Our aim is to help them increase their lead flow by up to 217%. What a great result. Amazing work. Chong saying, work with ambitious coaches. I like the ambitious part. Gives a bit of flavor to the type of coach you're working with, not just business coaches or life coaches. We help them to create high converting landing pages. Our aim is to help them double their landing page conversions as quickly as possible. Absolutely fantastic. Great, great stuff. Ozzy's saying we work with F&B brands. We help to grow their social media. And our aim is to help them double their engagement as quickly as possible across. Yeah, okay. So Ozzy, I think what we can do here is we can add some specificity in the channels maybe, because those two things slide into one a little bit, growing their social media and then doubling. We're not getting the punches of doubling their engagement. So, and also if you do something like what Claudia's done here with the 217%, that's going to be a lot better. So we aim to increase their engagement by up to 100% or up to 111% or something like that. It sounds really, really nice. Type hours. We help startup brands to build a powerful brand identity. We help them to increase visibility by 100%. Great, great stuff. Charities increase campaign fundraising by up to 85%. True result. Great stuff. Pet companies run their social media accounts, increase their sales to the right target market. That's great. Maria, don't say you run their social media accounts. I would say something like grow. Running it sounds like you're taking over and you're stealing it from them. But guys, all really, really good stuff. Okay, so if you want to find out more about the work we do and how we get results, how we work and how we get results, I'd love to tell you more. Otherwise, no problem at all. I'd still love to know how everything's going for your business, so please let me know, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. What we're doing here in this last piece is we're trying to get a response from them whatever happens. I'd rather have a no thanks than no response, okay? Because actually no thanks can turn into leads. So guys, that's the script. That's what you need to do. Quick point on tone before we move on. Tone. Totally chilled. It needs to be totally chilled. Like nothing on this earth matters. It doesn't matter if they respond. You couldn't care less. You're just hanging out. You want to know a bit about their business. It's all good. Totally chilled. Not salesy, not pitchy, not happy, not excited. Just totally chilled. That's the idea. Okay? Before we move on, any questions or thoughts on the Loom script before we move on to the emails that we need to be writing for these people as well? Any thoughts or questions before we move on? While we do this, I want to show you how we're going to find these people's email. So let me go here quickly. My laptop is having an absolute meltdown. Okay, so no questions on the Loom. That's all good. Let me share this again. So what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about how to find contact details, because what we're doing here next, if you look at the process, the next part of the process after we've sent the Loom is we're going to send 3 emails. Okay, and we've got the email copy just here, and I'm going to go through it in a second. Before we do, I want to show you how I want you to find the email. Most of the people you connect with, they're going to go to contact info, and you're going to have their email address right there. Okay, 99% of people are going to have that email address available. Most of them will. If they don't, that's all good. You kind of have to just dig around, try and find their email some other way. Another option here is this thing we've got on the side here called Lucia, which is kind of a cool, amazing program. It's a bit hit and miss, but basically when you go onto someone's profile, it's going to pop up here and it's going to show you their email address. It doesn't show it here for me. Don't know why. Obviously, I'm pretty under the radar. Didn't know that. But what it's going to show you here is you come out here and it's going to show you their email. I would show you someone's profile, but it's a massive breach of data protection, so I'm not. But here is the thing you need to get. It's called Lucia, and it basically will help you find anyone's email whenever you want. And there are varying prices as it goes up. Okay, it's very, very good. If this is this outreach approach is one of your main sources of leads, then I would recommend investing in Lucia, because it's going to really help you to get the right emails to send to these people. So you're going to send these emails on the next few days. You're going to send email on day 6, email on day 8, and a final email on day 10. And here's what the emails are going to say. Don't need to automate them. You can send them yourself. It's really, really easy. These emails are straight from the legend, Gary Keenan, who is the creator of gap selling. And I can tell you they are super, super effective, have very high open rates, and really, really work. So here's how it works. One of the first email, we're playing on the fact that we know that these certain clients are losing money. Now, why is it a good approach to talk about why they're losing money? Because every client in the world, every prospect in the world is used to people pitching them and saying how they can earn more money. But very, very few people are used to this, people advising them on how they are losing money, okay? So here's how it works. Target clients lose money via the problem you solve. Let me give you an example. Agency owners or agencies lose money via old retainer models. Could be an opportunity. I'm not saying it's totally true. I'm saying it could be an opportunity there. For products, we would say pharma companies lose money via shoddy Amazon listings. Okay, so all of you should be able to write target client lose money via the problem you solve. I'm going to give you 1 minute to come up with a headline which is on your target client and what they are losing money by with a problem that you solve. Okay, giving you 1 minute to have a look. What is the problem you solve, and how is your target client losing money through not solving that problem? What is that thing? What is the problem you solve? Who's your target client, and what are they losing money by in the problem that you solve? If anyone has a question on how to work this, just give me a shout, and I'll probably be able to come up with something on the spot if it helps. Just taking one from the people in the group, you could say, if this was Chong, you could say business coaches lose money via leaky landing pages, for example. So guys, what are your subject headers? Target clients lose money via this problem they solve. Pet companies lose money via lack of social media exposure, exactly, or poor social media presence. That's a really, really good one. Excellent stuff. F&B brands lose money via weak social media accounts. Again, same, poor social media presence. Yeah, nice, like that. This headline can work with anything. And all you need to do, if you're worried, if you're not sure about what this is, take the solution that you offer and go for the opposite state. So like Ozzy and Maria have done, they offer great first-class social media management. The opposite is shoddy social media presence, right? Just putting it there. SaaS founders lose money via inconsistent lead generation, exactly. Or poor quality leads. This problem here will be something they're familiar with, okay? Really, really simple. So here's how the email goes. First thing, are you aware that target clients lose thousands of pounds, dollars, euros, simply because they have a poor social media presence, because they've got inconsistent lead generation, because they've got poor Amazon listings, because they've got leaky landing pages? Normally, the quality of their Amazon listings, the quality of their social media, the quality of their landing pages is never looked into. That is really simple. Really, really simple, attention grabbing. If you're open, we'd love to talk to you about how these issues can affect businesses like yours. We could also discuss how great social media presence, how great Amazon listings, how consistent leads could save the business tens of thousands of pounds by simply getting leads in front of them every day, by simply driving more traffic, by simply increasing conversions. 10 or 15 minutes is all I need to highlight the issues businesses like yours have and to determine if we can help save time and money. Looking forward to talking to you. Your name. Super simple. Yeah? Super, super simple. That is email 1, which is going to go out on day 6. Email 2, equally simple, is the same problem costing you thousands? Is poor social media presence costing you thousands? Are poor Amazon listings costing you thousands? Is a leaky landing page costing you thousands? First thing, I just wanted to follow up on my last email and your ability to avoid tens of thousands of pounds of lost money due to poor social media presence, poor Amazon listings, poor this, poor that. Now here, I want you to insert proof. Either it can be a video of yours, it can be an article of yours, a blog of yours, a post of yours, or it can be something you found in the ether from an official outlet, from Forbes or something else. Okay, just a bit of proof. okay? Because we're keeping the text short, but the proof big. Would be good if we could schedule a 15-minute call where you can see if we can help you solve this particular problem, okay? Easy. Then email 3. Let me see. That's email 2. Email 3 on day 10. This is when we sign off, basically. And it's going to go a little bit like this. First name, how I missed the mark. First name, I understand you're extremely busy, therefore want to make sure that I'm not wasting your time. However, I'd be remiss to not follow up again. In addition to poor social media presence, businesses are often missing out on another problem that you can solve. In short, summarize the problem here, the result, summarize the consequence. I'd love to schedule a 15-minute discussion with you. Let me know a time that works. Sign off. Okay? Really, really simple. And at that point, if they haven't replied to any of this, you sign off. That's it. Process over. Okay? We're out. Quick question I often get here at this point is, what do we say in the voice note? Voice note, keep it super simple. Just say something like, hey, first name, just checking you've got my video before and my email. Would love to hear how your business is going. Let me know. Why do we do a voice note? Because we want to encourage curiosity. We want people to feel curious to come back to us. Okay, that's quite important. And then the GIF, what GIF do we do? There's one GIF that works really well for us. I think it will work really well for you too. It's of like this penguin. It's got a little shell on its head and the penguin's waving and saying hello. That GIF works every time. Weirdly, that does not look like a penguin, it looks like something else. So I'm going to rub it out very, very quickly. All you need to search for is, this is what you need to search for. Penguin GIF or hello GIF. And you'll find it, I promise you. It looks like a penguin, I promise you. So that's the process. Okay, my friends? That is the process. What we need to do is we need to give a crystal clear proposition. I hope you can see how those give you a crystal clear proposition. Very, very sorry about drawing a very phallic image on your screen just then. Final thing I want you to take in before we wrap this up. You need to measure your metrics. What's measured improves. Very, very important thing. If you want to improve something, measure it. If you want to improve how often you go for a run, measure how often you go for a run. If you want to improve your marketing statistics, measure it. If you want to improve your 5-kilometer time, measure it. Okay, what's measured improves. We need to measure it here too. Now, what we've got here in the rapid fire test benchmarks, this is in your playbook, is a bottom level. So this is absolute bottom expected benchmark for each thing. Okay, so the bottom minimum number of people that connect with us, we expect to be 30% across Facebook and LinkedIn. Then when people connect, we expect that 50% of them at least will be good leads that you can send, that you think are perfect targets you can send looms to. Then of the people you send looms to, we want at least 20% to be perfect and be polite and respond to you. Okay. Then of those 20%, we want 50% of them to turn into leads, people that say, you know what, yes, I'm interested. From those people that say yes, I'm interested, we want you to at least book 50% into meetings. We want 100% of those bookings to turn up. We want you to send 50% at least through to breakthrough, and we want you to convert at least 50%. These are the bottom expected benchmarks. They should all be higher than that, all of them. This is the bottom. But what this means is every time you reach out to 500 people, you'll get a client. That's the idea. Every time you reach out to 500 people, you'll get at least one client. That's the idea here. And it should be a hell of a lot more. Now, the question is, how do you track it? Well, on this link here, you're going to have your RFT sheet. RFT stands for Rapid Fire Test. And what I want you to do every single day is I want you to write in what happened on that day. So first day, you might have 40 connection requests out. Probably no one would connect on that day. The next day, you could have 40, maybe 15 have connected. Then you might do another 40 across LinkedIn and Facebook. I'm very, very sorry. You might have another 40, then this time 35 might connect, and you'll start to see here all of these benchmarks are going to show up. And if we had our exact benchmarks here, you'll see that they all go a little bit green. That should be there. You'll see they all go green. That's what we're looking for. But you're basically measuring every day, and so the total will go up to the top here. But we're looking for all greens in that top level to know that it's happy. The reason that we check in this way is that we can see immediately at a glance where the whole thing is breaking down. Here, if we were presented with this, we'd know immediately this is the problem area, which means that all we need is to do, we know that there's not enough people responding to our looms, which means we need to improve either one of two things, the quality of the loom or the script. Okay, that's what we need to fix. Having these indicators show us exactly where we need to fix. Now, guys, I know I don't need to remind you this, but please, my friends, come over here and make a copy of this sheet, make it your own. Please do not use this copy because this is our demo copy and it's used by thousands and thousands of people on this program, but also in our other programs as well. So please make a copy. It'd be really, really great if you did. So guys, I can see a couple of questions. So before we go on to the questions, I want to ask you a question very quickly. From everything we've been through in going through the process, going through consistently connecting, making it personal, managing the process with the Trello board, crystal clear proposition with your Loom script and your emails, and measuring your metrics, what has been most helpful and most valuable for you today? Would love to know what's resonated with you and what's been most valuable. Would love to know, guys. All the scripts in the email scripts and the Loom script, love it. The short looms in the whole process. I was recently sent a 3-minute loom and switched off after 30 seconds. That happens, guys. It's got to be super, super quick. We're battling for attention in really, really short amounts. So we need to be very, very concentrated, very, very concise. This is very, very, very important. Chung's question, may I know which part we can automate? Can I add client contact email and send them the email 123 using ActiveCampaign? So yeah, of course you can. So the question is, can I add the client's email into this process and then send them this, this, and this? Yes, you can. The only thing with that is that you need to know, if they respond, you need to know that you can kill this. Yeah? Because you don't want to keep sending them those prospecting emails saying, can I book a 10-minute meeting with you? If they've already booked a 10-minute meeting with you. Okay, so yeah, please do automate it where you can, but make sure you shut down that automation for that particular person before you, if they've booked a meeting with you. That's really important. Very good question though. So guys, any more questions before we wrap this up and before we land this plane, before we finish this process on the authority agency outreach playbook? Would love to know. And if you haven't got any questions, what I'd love to see you do in the next, basically 10 minutes, is go to LinkedIn and Facebook and do your daily toothbrushing, which is your daily add-on. Before you switch off, before you turn off tonight, go to your Facebook, add 30 to 50, go to LinkedIn, add your 20, and that starts to become your daily routine. The more you impact and you fill your network with your target customers, the more people are going to see your posts, the more people are going to basically be seeing the stuff that you're putting out there and are much more likely to come up. We're basically filling our network with more and more of these people, these future buyers here, who are really, really important to us, as well as these guys.